What is a powwow? That is a really, really big question, isn't it? It's a place for American Indian, Alaska Natives, and other world indigenous peoples to come together and just be with each other. It is a place to share our pan-Native identities and our world indigenous identities. It's a place for us to be together, not just Native, but everyone.
A powwow is a coming together originally of Native people for celebrations, usually as a community festival. It brings together tribes from all over the United States to sing, to dance, to share traditions, maybe even sell wares, and just to have a good time.
There's a lot of origin stories for powwow, and I think that's another beautiful thing. A lot of tribes can claim ownership to it. We can own the way it started. We can own our regalia, we can own our songs, and we can bring that into a powwow. The two types of powwows that I would say that I've been a part of are what we say are a traditional powwow, and we have the competition powwow. When you go to some of these smaller traditional powwows, the feeling there is more laid back. There's not this goal to accomplish something. Your goal is just to be with each other.
Traditional powwows usually just have song and dance, and there's not any competitive element to it, be it for cash or for trophies or whatever there may be.
You're competing at a competition powwow. However, there are a lot of similarities. There's the drumming, you have the dancing, there's still that community. There is still that aspect of it. It is just a little bit different because then you have the payment. And not everybody competes, right? Like I never compete. I prefer to just go and dance. I just prefer to be with my people. And so I don't care if it's competition or traditional, I'm going to be there.
The significance of the drum goes way back in time as far as anyone can remember. The drum is really the heartbeat of the event. Without the drum, we really don't have an event.
When we're saying the powwow is starting, you'll hear the boom, the first drum, and you'll hear the MC. They're the ones that you listen to.
Musqueam Nation, let's get us rocking.
Their job is to welcome everybody in and to make sure everybody knows logistically where everything is. They're also there to entertain as well during some downtime or just explain what's happening.
You may not understand what the bustle means, and you may not understand what's traditional or how the dance steps work, but that's why then you listen to the MC and they'll usually explain it.
At a powwow, there are many different styles of dancing. The categories are broken down from fancy styles to traditional styles. The fancy dances are more contemporary, which started into the 60s. The men's fancy dance, for one in particular, which arrived out of the Omaha tribe of Nebraska, and the women's fancy shawl came out of the northern tribes of South Dakota and North Dakota.
Regalia is your outfit, what you wear to dance. When we actually wear our traditional regalia, it's a callback to a time when our tribes were independent, in a time when we were able to freely express our ideas, our religion, our spirituality, our free share of culture across what now are borders and barriers.
Nearly everything on every dancer's outfit has meaning to it, whether it's bright, dark, however it may be.
The powwow brings us together in a way where it kind of kept our spirits alive through a lot of historical things that took place that were not always positive for Native people.
Powwow was appropriated by the Wild West shows. Wild West shows were a place to show what the West used to be like prior to contact and immediately after contact. And at that point, we were showing up there as props. We'd already been displaced. We'd already been relocated. We'd already been victims of genocide, a forced cultural assimilation. But it was also our one chance still to perform some of our rights and privileges. Contemporary powwow did adopt some of the Wild West shows. The specific thing that we use even today is the grand entry.
The grand entry, in its term, pretty much says what it is. It's a grand entrance of the dancers, and the grand entry carried over as this point to bring all the dancers together, showcase them to the audience, to the families as to who there is all at one time. Then later on down through the event, it's broken down based upon the dance styles that they are performing.
That's one of the beautiful things about grand entries, that we honor our folks through that. It was an entrance into a show, but now it's our way of saying, look at these amazing people that are doing such great things.
I think that some of the lingering issues, things that need to be improved, is still to diffuse the stereotypes. The word powwow has become misused for many reasons.
A lot of folks think of it as a meeting in a stereotypical sense of a meeting, like at the water cooler, say, hey, can we have a powwow? Which for us, we would consider inappropriate. It takes a long time to unlearn these things.
It is very important for non-native people to attend powwows. This is one of the greatest ways to bust stereotypes.
The one thing I would like for non-native people to take away from the importance of powwows is you're attending a celebration that brought us together intertribally.
We may be Cree, we may be Menominee, we may be Cheyenne, but when we come to a powwow, you're just native. You can just be who you are.
The future of powwows, from my perspective, will be more female. I think with the Native youth in our country, they're so inspiring. They're more amazing than our generation. So a lot of technology will be influencing the powwow circuit, which it already has.
I think we saw a glimpse of it during pandemic. We did see these online TikTok powwows and these digital powwows and these virtual powwows. It was a breath of fresh air to see all of these creators.
It's such a good thing for young people to be involved. Like, they can just immerse themselves in the powwow culture just so that they can keep positivity in their life.
The best way is through mentorship, going to powwows, putting our regalia on together, tell the story. That's one thing that I really love, because it also is reinvigorating my learning in my own tribe.
Native people throughout history have adapted and evolved always. We're always evolving, and I think it's important for powwows to kind of stay edgy, just really keeping up with the times and what the generations are using for technology and being really socially aware.
The future for powwows is to just keep the cultures going. The people will continue to come because it is pride building, it is self-pride. And we need to get more people out there to come and understand, the non-natives to come and understand the events and to understand the people and why they do the things they do. It's going to go on as long as we can do that.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.